What's happening, Blades? So, Ecky's press conference is the first thing I'm going to touch on today. I saw a lot of positivity online about it. I don't like it. I love his honesty. I don't like the situation we're in. That's probably the best way to put it. These out-of-contract players are making me nervous. And that's the way I am. You'll understand that now in terms of pessimistic and thinking worst, because it's United and we've all been there and we've seen it all go wrong. We're 9 points in front of Blackburn, 11 points in front of Watford, 12 in front of Borough. I might have got that wrong, but we're around that, and I still think we can mess it up. Still think we've a chance of messing it up. So Ecky's just being honest in his presser, and I don't mind that at all. I just think the brutal reality of where we are is quite nerve-wracking, really, for a nervy blade like myself, because we've got, I think it's 11 or 12 out of contract to end of year, and a lot of them, despite being long servants to the club, you wouldn't mind, thanking them for the service and seeing them. I talked about Ender last time. John Fleck's rumoured to be going to Rangers. Is John Fleck at 30, 31, whatever he's going to be? Don't get me wrong, I don't want him to go, but if he leaves, he's not a guaranteed starter anymore. You'd hope that he wouldn't be if we made the step up to Premier League level. John Fleck might be expendable. Billy Sharp will not go up a level to Premier League. He may be part of the squad, but if I don't think he will be, personally. I think his peak's well gone, obviously. I'm one of those that thinks he's on the slide now in terms of his overall contribution. But, what a fantastic servant. The players that make me nervous, we've got a year's option on McBurney, which is good, but Norwood's the main one. Norwood's my main concern. I've also not heard a lot about Jebison, and because of that, I'd anticipate that we've got a year's option. Jebo has not pulled up any trees since his cameo at Everton, really. Obviously had a decent half season at Burton, called him back and didn't use him last year. And brightest he's looked, I thought, were last weekend. So there's a player in there, and will he realise that potential at United? I don't know, but I think we'd do well to tie him down to another contract in the summer, if we can, and get him out on loan, perhaps at a championship club, a lower championship club, maybe. They may be down, but I'm talking your Wigans, your Rotherhams, and just see how he goes, getting a run of games at that level. So I'm trying a couple new features, just to keep content fresh, and let me know what you like and what you don't like, because this will be sort of, if it bombs, it bombs. But the first one I'm going to do is Spotlight. So today we're spotlighting Borough, because they're a team I have some concerns about. I raised in my last ramble that if we got a chance to bring a striker in, I'd love to get Cameron Archer on loan from Villa, who were at Preston last season, and I just think he's a real threat at this level. Obviously Borough have steamrolled in terms of so have we, by the way. I'm not dismissing what we're doing, but I'm a pessimistic blade. They're not quite on the same great run as us, but not far behind. I think it's 7 wins in 10. And I'm a little bit concerned about them, not overly, because I think the gap is very big and we've got to be realistic. There's 20 games left, but there's got to be a 4-game swing in terms of we lose 4 more than them. And they've got to be so consistent that they win. And when I look at it practically, yes, they're strengthening with Cameron Archer. It looks like he's coming in on loan to Borough, which is a bit of a blow. We've still got to play him, which obviously could shorten, could be 3 of those points swung back to them. You never know how it's going to go, but it is at the lane. The one thing I've looked at, though, is, and they were talking about this on Second Tier Pod. Fantastic listen, by the way, if you haven't seen it or heard it, it's the fantastic Championship podcast. And they were talking about Carrick's run of fixtures, and that it's been quite kind. I don't know if I agree with that completely, because they've beaten Norwich in there. Norwich are terrible at the moment, but they've got some good players, as we know. They've beaten Blackburn, as have we, but and Blackburn got a sending off, but these are good results. They won at Birmingham, which is impressive. But they've also had Blackburn thrown in there, Wigan, Hull. So it's not been super tough for them. And I think now, in the next 3 games, it'll be a real test for Borough. And if they come out with 9 points, then I've really got reason to worry. But I think they've got Millwall at home, next league game, Sunderland away, and Watford at home. Now, Watford have got an injury crisis on lines that we were playing with at the beginning of the season. I think last I heard it were 15 players out. But they've signed Ismail Akone, who was the lad we had lined up to replace Sander if Sander went on deadline day. And they've also signed another lad up front to replace this João Pedro that's out. So they're strengthening, as are a lot of teams in and around us. I still maintain that the best window we can have is no incomings. I'll take that so long as there's no outgoings, because if we keep this squad together, there's no excuse. So spotlighting Borough, yes, I'm a little bit concerned, but when my head takes over, I think we're certainly doing enough. I'm not saying we've done enough. I think there's maybe 10, 11 wins left that we need to get. On to Millwall then. I'm not bothered about the cup, I'll be honest, but I do think it's a good opportunity to get some minutes in the legs of some of the fringe players. So here's my second new feature, if you like. What's your team? So what's your team? Here's mine. Let me know what yours is in the comments. Obviously subscribe while I'm on that theme. But my team is Adam Davies in goal. I think he's been very patient. Obviously Wes doesn't necessarily need a break. Goalkeeper's hardly the most taxing position. But I think we go Adam Davies in goal and give him a due start. And I think he's reliable as well as a backup keeper. I think I want to see Bash back at right centre-back, giving Anel a break. I'm a little bit concerned about Anel, who looks to be flagging most games. We're talking about it, if he's had glandular fever, which is the rumour, then it can take some time to recover. So I don't know whether that's having an impact on his overall fitness levels. Obviously he's a class act, but he hasn't quite hit the heights since he's been ill. And maybe an extended rest will help him. It's not much of a turnaround for Stoke, but at least any rest is better. I think Egan's going to have to play in centre. Again, it's not one of those positions that'll drain him of energy, but I'd rather have left him out if I could. But with Gordon still out on loan, Lapata, deciding he didn't want to wait for his chance, he wanted to play first team football, and without being funny, he's now playing in National League and not pulling up any trees. So Egan in middle. I will go Jack Robinson, left centre half. Hopefully Clark's going to be back for Stoke because he's a huge upgrade for me. But if Jack Robinson has to play at Stoke, he has to play. Ender Stevens left wing back, again with the hope that Max Lowe comes back for Stoke, and Baldock as my right wing back. I'm going to go Tommy Doyle in middle to try and get some more minutes in his legs. I think he can play that sitter, where he sort of doesn't dictate the play quite like Norwood, the different players, and I appreciate it. He prefers to be further forward, but I think we've got limited options at the minute. I did consider Koulibaly if he'd have been fit, but we haven't heard enough about him to say he's going to be fit. So if I'm talking about a realistic team, I'd maybe have to go McAtee or even Brooks, but I'll go McAtee and Sander further forward than Doyle. So just Doyle sitting, and Sander and McAtee a touch further on. And I'm going to have Kadra. Yes, I'm going to have Rida Kadra, who's still our player, behind Jebo, because I want to see how he does. We're a full 90. We know he don't want to play for us. I think the picture, I'll put it back up again, but that's a live picture from what I understand. That's his mood currently. I'd like to see if he's got any fire in his belly. We know we've seen it against us last season, more so than for us this year. I know he got the goal against Swansea, but he's not done it, has he? And it's not working. But I still think there's half a chance we end up keeping him. If this finance deal with Brighton can't be worked out, then what's the point in sending him back you know, you're not going to pay to not have the player. If you might as well keep him, and it saves on strengthening another rival as well. So that's my team I'm going to put out. If I'm Eki, it won't be that team obviously, because I can't guess them right on a match day in a league game when we're trying to pick the strongest team. So when we're resting players and rotating, I won't have it bang on. But let me know what you think in comments in terms of who we'll play. Let me know what you think of my team. You might think it's garbage. You might think, you know, we shouldn't be playing that many that are close to the first team. You might want to put more first teamers in. But I'm not bothered about cup personally. I get the momentum argument, but I would rather rest key players for the ever important league campaign. So yeah, let me know what you think. Are we gonna turn them over? Are you bothered? As I say, I'm not. I don't want us to get a thumping, but I won't be devastated if we go out of the cup. Focus on the league, get us promoted, secure our assets, get our main boys tied down, but see how we go at the weekend. Up the Blades.